At 64, people look at me and they see the movies, the fame, the awards, the smiles on the red carpet, and they think it's a life without cracks, a life without pain. But they don't see the nights. I lay awake thinking about the friends I lost, the relationships I couldn't save, the moments that slipped through my fingers, the choices I wish I could undo. I've been told I'm lucky. I've been told I have it all. And on paper, maybe I do. But inside, there's a weight that doesn't go away. The kind of weight that comes from regret and missed chances. I remember the people I loved, who left too soon, and the ones I pushed away, because I was too caught up in the chase, too caught up in proving myself, too caught up in the illusion that success equals happiness. I've stood on sets doing things people dream of doing. I've risked my body, my mind for a scene, for a stunt, for a movie, and I've smiled through it all. But there were days when I felt completely alone, even in the middle of applause, even surrounded by hundreds of people. I felt isolated. I've made mistakes. I've hurt people. I've said things I wish I could take back, and those words echo in my head at night. I've lost love that I thought would last forever. I've watched relationships crumble under the pressure of expectations, and sometimes I've blamed myself, and sometimes I've blamed the world, and sometimes I've just cried because I realized life doesn't come with instructions, and fame doesn't come with immunity from heartbreak. I've faced failure in ways nobody saw. I've felt fear in ways nobody imagined. I've questioned my purpose, my worth, my path more times than I can count. But I've also learned something that no award can teach, something no box office record can give. And that is that vulnerability is not weakness, that showing your heart is not failure, that admitting pain is not defeat, and that even in the midst of tragedy, there is a chance to grow, a chance to love, a chance to find meaning. I've learned to forgive myself for being human, to embrace the scars, the losses, the regrets, because they remind me that I've lived, not just existed, that I've cared deeply, that I've risked everything to feel everything, that I've allowed myself to be truly alive. And so I tell you now, if you take anything from my life, take this life. Is fragile. Fame is fleeting. Love is real. Pain is inevitable, but the courage to face it, to keep going, to keep opening your heart to the world, no matter how many times it breaks, that is the true measure of strength. I don't have all the answers, I don't pretend to, but I know that at 64, I am still learning, still feeling, still trying to be better to the people I love, to the world I touch, to myself. I have made mistakes. I have faced tragedy. I have felt alone. I have felt fear. I have felt loss. And yet I am still here, still breathing, still loving, still trying. And that is everything. And you know what haunts me most? Sometimes it's not the failures or the tragedies themselves. It's the moments I didn't fully live, the quiet mornings I spent worrying about what the world thought of me, instead of feeling the sunlight on my face. The times I held back words I wanted to say because I feared judgment. The chances I didn't take because I was scared of rejection. I think about the friendships that slipped away because I was too busy chasing something I didn't even understand at the time. I think about love lost and love never fully expressed, and the family moments I missed because the work never stopped and fame demanded everything. And yet through all of that, I also remember the miracles, the moments that felt bigger than life, the people who lifted me when I wanted to fall, the laughter that broke through the darkness, the friendships that became family, the love that found me in unexpected ways, The nights on set when everything aligned, when you felt alive and unstoppable. And I remember the fear too, the fear before every big leap, every impossible stunt, every movie that could make or break me, and how that fear taught me humility and focus and courage, and yet no amount of training or preparation could ever prepare me for the heartbreaks, for the nights I sat alone asking why, for the mistakes I made that I couldn't take back. I've learned that life is a paradox, that it gives and it takes, that it lifts you up and it throws you down, and that the only thing you can really do is open your heart wide and live it fully, even when it hurts, even when it scares you, even when you fail, even when you're afraid to fail again. And maybe that's the tragedy of getting older. Maybe it's realizing how fragile everything is, and yet also realizing how precious every moment is. And I want to tell you now, don't waste time hiding behind fear. Don't hide behind pride. Don't hide behind a persona or a mask, because the world sees it anyway. What matters is what's inside your heart. What you do with your love, your pain, your joy, your fear, your mistakes. And I promise you, when you face life honestly, when you allow yourself to feel it all, the highs and the lows, the heartbreaks and the triumphs, the regrets and the laughter, that is the only way to truly live. And when I look back at 64 years of life, I see it all, the mistakes, the losses, the wins, the stunts, the movies, the applause, the solitude. And I realize every piece of it shaped me. Every piece of it taught me something. Every piece of it made me who I am today. And who I am today is someone who is still learning, still trying, still loving, still hurting, still laughing, still alive. And that is a gift I will never take for granted. And sometimes I lie awake, thinking about the choices I didn't make, the moments I let slip through my fingers, the chances I didn't take, because I was scared of failure, or of what people would think, or because I thought I had all the time in the world. And the truth is, none of us do, and it's terrifying and beautiful all at once. I think about the relationships I've lost, the love I've failed to nurture, the family I've struggled to be present for, and I carry all of that with me, and I have to, because it's part of who I am. It's part of my story. It's part of the human experience. And yet I also carry the other side, the magic, the wonder, the moments that felt infinite, the nights on set, when the laughter was real, when the risk felt worth it, when I understood why I did what I did. And those memories give me hope and strength and remind me that even in the darkest moments, life can still surprise you. That even when you feel broken or defeated, there is still a way forward. That every mistake, every heartbreak, every failure carries a lesson, if you're willing to see it. And I've spent decades learning to see it, to honor it, to embrace it, to let it guide me instead of define me. And I tell you now, the tragedy isn't that life is hard or that it takes from you. It's that so many of us spend it hiding from it. We spend it chasing illusions or avoiding pain instead of leaning into it, instead of letting it teach us, instead of living fully, even when it hurts, even when it scares us, even when we're uncertain, because that is the only way to really feel alive and really be human. And when I look at my 64 years, I see both the devastation and the beauty intertwined. And I see that both are necessary, that both are precious, that both have made me who I am today. Someone who can stand here and speak honestly to you about fear, love loss, joy, mistakes, triumphs, and hope. Because in the end, that's all we have, and that's all that matters. I think about the nights when the applause fades and the lights go down and I'm left alone with my thoughts and the weight of everything I've lived through, the regrets, the mistakes, the people I've hurt, the opportunities I've missed, and I feel the ache of it all in my chest, and it's overwhelming and humbling, and I realize that fame isn't what anyone thinks it is. It doesn't protect you from pain. It doesn't erase loneliness. It doesn't shield you from heartbreak. It just magnifies it. Sometimes it shows you the beauty of life in brilliant colors, and sometimes it exposes every flaw, every fear, every vulnerability. I've watched friends drift away. I've lost love. I've been misunderstood. I've been criticized. I've been judged, and I've judged myself harshly. And there were moments when I thought I couldn't keep going, when the weight of it all would crush me, and yet somehow I did. And I do, because there is still a spark inside me, still a reason to wake up, to care, to love, to strive, to create, to connect, to be present. And that spark is fragile and fleeting, but it is also relentless. And it is proof that even in tragedy, there is a thread of hope that even when life takes everything, it can leave something behind, and that something is resilience and the capacity to feel, to endure, to grow, to become more than the sum of your scars and mistakes. And I want you to know that you can feel that too, that you can find that spark even when everything seems lost, because it's there. It's always there, and it's yours to hold on to if you choose to see it, if you choose to live it, if you choose to be honest with yourself and with others. And that is the hardest part, the bravest part, the most beautiful part, to open yourself completely to life, knowing it will hurt, knowing it will disappoint, knowing it will challenge you to your core, and still step forward, still speak your truth, still love fully, still dare to dream fully, because that is what makes you human, and that is what makes it worth it. And now, as I stand here at 64, I realize that every heartbreak, every failure, every lonely night has shaped me into the person I am today. And if my story can reach even one person struggling with their own pain, if it can remind you that you are not alone, that your scars don't define you, but your courage does, then sharing this is worth it. So I ask you to hold on to hope and resilience, and to join this journey with me. Subscribe to the channel and stay with us as we explore life, truth, and humanity together, because every story matters.